2022. I guess in terms of this podcast, my year starts now. But that's poetic in a way because I decided that my theme for this year is going to be my year on my own terms. In other words, I'm not too fussed that I didn't get to upload a special New Year's episode or a special Christmas episode or special holiday episode. Because what's the point in fussing about all that? Everyone else is doing it. Why must I? Let me do my own thing. And I do believe that'll work out much better for me in the long run. I've been at work for about a week. Well, almost exactly a week, I'd say. It was a bit slow. Not because of me necessarily, but not everything has completely opened up yet. I guess beginnings of the year are like that. That being said, today I actually was really on top of my game, thanks to a few little changes, praise be God, that I decided to make, or just a few small decisions. And it's amazing how those small decisions can make a world of difference sometimes. And I'm not just talking about when they accumulate to build up that mountain so that you have another mountain in front of you when you want to cross the chasm. It's amazing how a little decision, well, it may be little in your eyes, even before it's compounded, can have such a huge impact. Amazing. Life is amazing. I had a free moment to myself in the same place where I recorded Natsukashi, my personal favorite, if I could say so myself. I've come to the realization that the place I grew up in is not a place I can call home anymore. And that's okay. We grow up, human beings grow up, our preferences change. Where I'm sitting right now, it's got enough nostalgia to keep me afloat and perhaps keep me alive, I'd say. It's got everything a human would need. I'd probably just like to one day take my shoes off and let my feet feel the grass so I can go all primal. We move on. We move forward. I used to be a very clingy type, especially when it comes to nostalgia. It would take me a long time to let go. For some reason, well, not some reason. If you've been following my life closely, you'd probably be able to guess, especially if you've dabbled in psychology. I'm no longer like that. It's easier nowadays for me to let go of things, and for that I praise Allah. I guess it's just something you learn over time, and I'm not fussed over the fact that I took a bit longer than maybe some other people, or at least my perception of other people, to learn it. Everything has its own divine time. And speaking of divinity, there's a certain something that I'm working towards actively right now. Well, I've been working towards it for a long time, even before I really put my head to it. But it's taken on an image of specificity, if I can say so, without giving too much away, let's say, and at the same time not being too cryptic. And I understand that if I let go of the specificity, I would have more freedom. It's amazing that I've been able to capture essences of my childhood so I can, almost on a daily basis, even though adulthood gets mundane every now and then, not exactly relive my childhood, but let my outer child loose and feel what my inner child would feel if he were here in my shoes right now. But I don't have to revert to a child. I can keep all these valuable experiences as an adult whilst I'm doing that. And that is just beyond amazing. Anyway, I was probably going to make a bigger point, but I just lost my train of thought there. Well, these things are spontaneous. What was the line I said at the beginning, or the line I wrote when I first posted that this would be my second podcast? Enigmas have no consistency, or at least I think that's what I wrote. The fact that I'm forgetting and that I don't actually care about it, This goes with the theme of my year on my own terms. After spending New Year's morning watching Cobra Kai, as we all do, because, that's probably the only reason I subscribe back to Netflix, I met up with a friend, and then the day after that, we actually did some interesting things. And it's amazing how in a place full of pain and hate, even then, light blossoms, and can be put to the fore, if only we make it a priority and do our best to so endeavor. It's so peaceful out here. That's what I want to do. And it's not that when I say my year, my own terms, that I want to necessarily hurt people and push them to the side, because I know the consequences of that. When I recorded Look Back to Look Forward, that was spurred on by a meeting with an old friend of mine. And I do mean an old friend and not just an acquaintance. It's unfortunate that I pushed them to the side in my pursuit to come closer to God. That was naive and foolish of me. I know now that hurting other people, sideswiping them, making them feel bad about their own selves is no way to come close to God. That's no way to worship God. That's a way to worship your own devilish self, if anything. But I don't want to dwell on devilish thoughts and negativity in this serene environment. For I am at peace, and I am supposed to be doing something else in this environment of peace. Moss Muses isn't going anywhere. The initial concept might have been just do it for 30 days, which I haven't done yet. But in case you were wondering if this podcast would disappear after 30 episodes, the answer is a solid no. Sure, I might not do it every day, maybe not even every week. I'll do it as and when I feel like it. But this podcast has become something of a sanity board, because it's just me, unplugged, unbounded, and I need those things. Why push away sanity boards when they do serve such an essential purpose? Take time out this week for nature. Maybe just do one thing different and see how the whole day cascades into something much better. Until next time, peace upon you. We'll meet for the next episode of Moss Muses, and definitely look out for the Scholar and the Student podcast Season 3, because that's also coming. Moss out.